Deathwatch.
Alright, so you guys fled Corbett House for the night, and you returned to the hotel, except for Joseph, who went to the hospital. Joseph, the good doctors and nurses at the hospital have a 70% in their medicine skill. You can roll against that for the medicine check.
Okay. How many hit points does he need to get up and running?
He has to get over half when he does his healing check at the end of the week, so he's going to be stuck with a broken arm.
So it's a percentage, right?
Yeah, so you wanted to roll 70 or less.
82
That's no problem.
over 70.
They didn't fumble or anything. So you just don't get a bonus die when you make your healing check, your constitution check at the end of the week. So you'll just have to make a note for that character and remind me when a week has passed so that we can make that check.
Good.
But other than that, they're putting it into a cast and whatnot. And you can choose. They won't keep you in the hospital for more than a day. So you can choose to stay in or go out. Being in the hospital will give you a bonus die when you make a roll, but so would staying at home and kicking your feet up. If you decide to continue investigating with them, you won't get it. And depending on the conditions of the area your investigation leads you to, you might get a penalty die. And on top of that, you won't have the function of your left arm as it's in a cast, or you'll have very limited function.
Yeah, I'll take some time off here
Okay.
and heal up at home.
All right, so you're going to bring in a new investigator then?
Yeah,
What's his name?
his name is Arthur Kleeman.
And he's a bouncer.
Yeah, he's a doorman at what do they call like a speakeasy.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so how do you want to roll him into this investigation? Do you want to use the Society for the Exploration of the Unexplained, or...
Yeah, he's a fairly new member
Okay.
to that. He has always been into religions and magical stuff. As he was born in Cape Town in South Africa, so he had a healthy interest in the shaman spiritualism
Okay.
from the tribes out in Africa that he'd heard about.
All right, so we'll say the way that you get contacted is actually good old Finn sends a telegram saying that there might actually be something here after you guys' experience in the house, and we might need another pair of eyes with us. So you get it late that evening, and you drive in the night, and you will arrive in the morning at their hotel room. For Ezekiel's part that morning, he seems shaken to the core from his experience, and he decides that this investigation should just be done. He'll say he didn't see anything if you guys didn't, or maybe he'll say something totally different when Justin gets back. But for today, he's going to recover. I think he took the most extreme sanity loss in the last session, so he's just going to try to get his wits straight. You've seen, for you war experienced people, you've seen that look in the trenches, after a good long day of shelling.
Yeah.
When the new guys come in.
Okay.
So Brandon, you already wrote down the 1 hit point for Vincent's rest.
Yeah.
And according to the text message in between last session and this one, I had Johan and Vincent as reading the journal.
Correct.
All right.
There were 3 journals.
Right.
Right.
Reading the journals, yeah. So you guys each get 4 to your Cthulhu Mythos skill. Did I text 4 or 3? I can't remember. Or did I write it in the thing?
I don't remember receiving anything.
Oh, okay. So yeah, you get 4 to your Cthulhu Mythos skill. Now, you have an option here. You can choose to believe what is written there. And if you do, then that will deduct from your maximum sanity of 99 the same amount as your Cthulhu Mythos skill. So your maximum sanity, it wouldn't be your current sanity, just the total maximum pool you can have. Did you have a question, Bryn?
Was that the journal?
Yeah.
That handout? Okay.
That's the abstract of it. It was just
Right.
the entries that were relevant to the case.
All right. So what's the other choice?
Or you can just be like it's a madman's ramblings and you don't believe it, but what will happen is if you're confronted with an actual mythos entity down the road and you lose sanity from it, then it's going to snap into place all at once and you'll lose your total Cthulhu mythos skill rating, insanity at that time.
I choose to believe it.
Okay. Makes sense based off the experience you had. Also, you guys will have some automatic sanity loss. You're each going to lose 1d4 sanity. How'd you do?
I lost 3.
I lost 1.
So is it equal to our total Cthulhu mythos or what we gained?
Your total
Okay.
Cthulhu is the reduction from your max sanity.
So should I have done that prior?
Yeah, I didn't have it.
Are we counting it?
Yeah, well, I mean, it's yeah, we are.
So I might be out of the...
No, it's not. It's the maximum amount.
It's not actually losing sanity.
It's just the top end of your
Okay.
of what you can accumulate. Because if you spend years off just focusing on restoring your sanity, you could conceivably get it up to 99. In this case, it just limits you to 99 minus your Cthulhu Mythos skill. Because those are the truths that you now know that you cannot ignore, and they just, they tamp down your sanity a little bit. Okay. I think there was... All right, so you guys can also go ahead and figure out what your new 1/5 sanity line is on your sanity track for the day based off of your current sanity. And I believe that is it. So we will just review all of the relevant information that has happened thus far. And this is your morning. You guys are taking your breakfast pretty early in the morning and trying to reach some decision about what has happened or what should happen going forward. So these were the hard facts gathered: that Henry Weber sold the house to Walter Corbett Esquire in 1835 after falling ill. Corbett's will states that he left his house to Reverend Michael Thomas in 1866. Proceeds from leasing the property would go to the Church of Contemplation. The will also states that Walter wished to be buried in the basement of the house upon his death. He died in 1866. The Church of Contemplation was destroyed in 1912. There was some note when you found that record, Brandon, of criminal action at the church, but the particulars would have been kept in a higher court, such as a police station or a courthouse.
Correct.
The Macario family lived in the Corbett house in 1917, but left after a few short months. And the job was, Mr. Knott hired you to investigate the Corbett house due to its haunted reputation. He paid you $25 with the promise of a bonus should your report have a favorable outcome. To report on the state of the house and publish that report and restore its good name so that he could rent it out or sell it. He evidently inherited the house from his uncle this year, 1920. These listed under conjecture were eyewitness accounts or they were from unpublished documents. In 1866, the Journal of Reverend Thomas, found at the Church of Contemplation, seems to indicate that he carried out Walter's wishes to be buried in the basement. In 1880, a family of French immigrants, the Ladeau family, moved into the house. There was some kind of violent event that left one of the children dead. The house stood vacant for 20 years following the Ladeau incident. In 1909, Jones' family lived here for several years until the oldest Jones child went mad and killed himself with a kitchen knife in 1914. In 1917, the Macarios rented the house and were there for less than a month. Mr. Dooley said that Mr. Macario broke his legs falling from the upstairs window. After his convalescence, he went crazy, tried to kill his family, and eventually did wound a mailman. They put Mr. Macario in the Roxbury Sanitarium. His wife went shortly after. The kids went to live with relatives in Baltimore. Mr. Dooley said the Church of Contemplation might have been involved with kidnapping children in the area a while back. The Church of Contemplation may be connected to a death cult, or a death cult might be using the premises, as evidenced by the fresh paint used in the symbol painted on the wall at the site. Observe handout 9. Okay. And upon investigating your site, or the Corbett house, these are some of the things that happen. So in regards to the black lines, after much discussion, you have determined that the black lines seem to indicate some manner of progressive phenomena. However, no one can recall having actually seen the lines. In the way of evidence, there is only Finn's remark made in his notepad that the black is in your, in this case speaking to Vincent, hand. There were also several incidents of witnessing others make a verbal exclamation and reacting to the black lines, in one case being described like blood poisoning. But in each case, the person suffered short-term amnesia after the occurrence. Whether this is some manner of psychosomatic event shared by each of you, or an actual physiological process, is a matter of some debate, and your characters can come down on one side or the other on that as you're discussing it. Though careful physical examination in the hotel shows nothing out of the ordinary. The spare bedroom on the second floor. Most of you witnessed some manner of telekinetic activity in the room. The bed and dressers were propelled by some unseen force. In the former case, Joseph was knocked through the window and broke his arm in the fall. And does Joseph have some suspicion that Vincent pushed him from the window? Was that what you were going on?
Yeah.
Okay.
As he's... I had actually... No, I forgot it at home. I had written out a thing, like his investigation report. And after he had some time to get away from that situation and kind of calm down and think a little bit, he was going to give Vincent the benefit of the doubt, and he was going to try and investigate it further, but he's still swinging towards
Vincent doing it.
It was Vincent, yeah.
Okay. I believe both Finn and Ezekiel can... Well, I mean, they'll mention that they saw things flying around in the room, but I believe it was only you and Vincent in the room when the bed... Yeah. All right. Okay. Furthermore, blood seemed to spontaneously materialize from the floor in great quantities, even dripping into the hallway below. The room smelled of a singularly foul odor, indescribable in any agreed-upon way, save Vincent and Joseph, who said the odor reminded them of the battlefields in France. In conclusion, the activity in the house seemed to be centered in this room and was either the result of clear spiritual interference or the extraordinary ruse of someone very clever and skilled in illusory tricks. Also, possession or mad behavior. On a few occasions, certain individuals among your party appeared to be possessed by another entity, or perhaps succumbed to a similar psychosomatic event as occurred with the black lines. The phrases uttered were, "Perhaps you should leave," then shouting, "Perhaps you should leave," and "No solicitors, please." Graffiti at the site on the walls was, "Don't let the black get in your head." This was scribed on the first floor hallway. "I don't drink to black out, I drink to keep the black out," scribed on the second floor hallway, and "The black is in," scribed over and over in the living room, presumably by Lamar, the occultist at Orion's spiritual goods shop. The items that you guys found in the house were Walter Corbett's journals, which a couple of you have read, and also of note in that journal is that it clearly describes a spell that Walter calls "Call Forth the Opener of Ways." This spell may be learned, given enough study. So that's kind of encapsulate you guys going over everything that has happened thus far. So you're all sitting down to breakfast. Ezekiel has even come down for this part of it. I believe one other thing is that you guys did send a telegram to Mr. Knott in the evening asking for more time.
Did we?
I thought somebody did.
Finn.
Finn. Okay. That's right. All right. So there you are at the table with your breakfast of choice before you.
Those were some good eggs. and good dumplings and good biscuits. That's what they ate back then.
I see.
Just biscuits and
Dumplings.
dumplings. Well, I believe that I am comfortable submitting a report now that the house is not fit for habitation, which is what we were hired to do.
I agree. The house is definitely not fit for habitation. Some sort of natural gas leak, a bursted water main of some sort, perhaps, leaking brackish water all over the place.
Whatever the case may be.
You also arrive.
Yeah. Okay.
What are you doing at our table? Get out of here. We don't know you.
Finn
So-
scribes down that he telegrammed back to the SEU for an
Right,
additional paralyze. And he has intimated that he's of the mind that there are still things that could be discovered,
Yeah.
about this house.
Right. Well, I'll state I intend to investigate further because something's going on there. And I can't have my friend thinking that I pushed him out of a window.
Did I know Finn?
You can if you want. He's been at the SEU meetings quite often.
Okay.
You can determine how well you know him. Or any of these guys,
What are you?
if they agree to it.
Did you have in the war? Did you go to the war?
Yeah, I was in the war.
Well, then I automatically agree with knowing him. I mean, how many people could have been in the war?
Yeah, it's
Honestly.
only like 4 or 5.
Well,
And
we're all
We've already
investigators.
seen
so-
4 of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was 4 or 5 people killing everybody else.
Yeah.
We're the only ones with machine guns.
Well, I would imagine that if there's, gatherings at the
Yeah.
chapter house, that naturally I would gravitate towards others who had served in
Yeah.
the war, just as
Well, for Americans, it's definitely a smaller percentage of the population
yeah.
than if you guys were British. But I believe he's British,
Yeah.
so you guys may or may not have some rivalry, but not in a friendly,
Right.
soldierly manner. But yeah, I imagine people who did serve would gravitate towards each other at those meetings.
Yeah, so I'll come up and greet Finn, the handshake, and Vincent as well. I'll introduce myself to the professor. I had seen some of your
Lectures.
lectures. It's an honor to get a chance to work with you, sir.
Donkey. Donkey?
Donkey. Yes.
I will take one, thank you. What does William make? You were present for much of this discussion, so you have access to all the same facts now. But keep in mind that this is through the filter of not having experienced anything firsthand yet.
Yeah, so some of the experiences that I feel he would have had in the past that really made him gravitate towards joining the SCU? Is it-
SEU.
SEU. Were things like this, or not as aggressive, but just unexplainable, where nothing should have happened, but something did. So he's definitely interested in continuing or joining in an investigation into exactly what was happening in that house. So I've heard of people being attacked by spirits. I've never seen any proof of it. Through seances and other means, that I've been included in. I've heard and spoken with the dead, but this seems like a pretty extreme situation, and I'm actually looking forward to being able to get in there and check it out.
Oh wait, you were not William. What's your guys' name?
Arthur.
Arthur.
Yeah, my name is Arthur Kleeman.
All right. And what is Johan's take on all this?
That's all foolishness. It's a gas leak. We are being poisoned in there. And you want to go back into a house that is a possible death trap. I mean, there were no specters. What is it, like some sort of rickety pipes making noise? We saw nothing.
Well, I have a great respect for you, Professor, and because of that, I recommend, just in case you're right, that we take gas masks when we go back in. There's got to be surplus stores nearby that'll sell them, and I can teach you how to use them.
All right. So Finn sent that telegram off in the evening, but you have not yet made a response. So I need it's called a group luck roll. So everybody rolls their luck, and if one of you fail, you all fail.
Well, that doesn't seem nice. You not have the rules be so harsh.
They do have some variance if it proves too punishing.
I didn't fail.
It's the new guy, FNG.
75 over 65.
So Finn requested more time on your guys' behalf.
Could I use 10 luck too? Or
can't.
would that continuously lower it so you'd never achieve your goal?
Unfortunately, you may not use it on luck rolls. But yeah, that's exactly what it would do.
Well, he's not really part of the group yet.
Yeah, they did this before I showed up.
Right. So you guys receive your response. This comes at about 8:30 when your breakfast is long since consumed or growing cold for those of you that eat light. And the hotel clerk walks in and hands Finn the telegram. He reads it, gets a frustrated look on his face, and passes it around. This telegram reads, it's from Mr. Stephen Knott. A schedule has been set. Stop. Payment has been made. Stop. Renovators at house 8 a.m. today. Sharp. Stop. That was about 30 minutes ago when they were scheduled to be there.
Their funeral.
All right, so I think you guys need to make a plan for your next course of action.
So we're not able to continue the investigating there? Or they're just going to have renovators?
The renovators are there.
He's not going to... Yeah, the renovators are there. In great danger whether I'm right or whether the professor's right.
They should probably be warned.
I agree. We got to get there fast.
Okay. Yeah, I'm still willing to go. I mean, this is the most definitive proof that I've ever heard that's reliable.
Okay. All right, so are all of you then going to go to the house, Johan?
Yeah, but I don't plan on going in. That place is a death trap.
All right, so you all pile into Finn's car and drive to the Corbett house once again. When you arrive to a number of police cars. They drive their radio motor police cruisers. There's 3 of them parked out front. And this is the scene. There's one man sitting on the step of the Corbett house explaining something to a police officer. You can see in one of the cruisers there's another man sitting in the back of the cruiser. And there are police coming in and out of the house. What would you like to do? Finn looks at you guys questioningly.
Well, obviously, they will succumb to the poison of the house. Perhaps we could go forward, barring any more of the radical assumptions that we have, and attempt to see what the police have to say, maybe?
Mr. Dooley is also standing outside of his shop, as usual, looky-looing.
Right. Well, I think I'll go ask I can identify us as investigators hired by the owner of the house.
Okay.
Ask the police officer what happened,
It's probably for the best that you go, too. People seem to be rather easily aggravated by me for some reason.
Well, they just don't get to know you.
Yes, this is true.
Yeah, so I'll go, officer, I demand answers, or else. No, I'll tell them that we're investigators hired by the owner of the home and ask him what happened here.
Okay, so yeah, you they have one officer that's on the sidewalk. They put out like sawhorses to block foot traffic, and he kind of stops you, like hold up there. You can. He's like, this is a crime scene. Just move along.
Well, we are representatives of the owner of the home.
Have you been in contact with the owner?
We had a telegram from him just this morning.
And what is his name? He gets out a pen and paper.
Owner's name.
Mr. Dooley.
Mr. Steven.
Yeah,
that's
that
right.
guy. Stephen Nutt. Recently acquired it. Recently inherited it.
Okay. Hold on a sec.
Sent to determine the house's suitability for habitation.
Okay. He's like, I see. And what exactly were you guys looking for?
Well, we're not looking for anything in particular, just seeing if it's suitable for habitation.
I see. Well, just keep this on the down low. There's been a murder.
Who? Who was murdered?
Well, as near as we can tell, these two brothers, Joseph and Josiah, and their one other guy, Carl, were here to renovate the house. Evidently, Carl was a new guy, and he just went crazy. Killed one of the brothers. Beat him to death with a hammer.
You don't say.
I do say. It's quite horrible. He must have taken 150 whacks at that guy's head.
I bet there's not much left of it now.
Not much more than hamburger.
Well...
And what is your name, sir?
My name's Vincent Newell.
No, and do you live here in Boston?
No, sir. I'm from Idaho.
Idaho. That's a state.
That's next to Ohio, right?
Yeah, it's next to Iowa and Ohio.
So where are you staying in Boston, sir?
The hotel.
What did I say? The Lennox Hotel?
Yeah, the Lennox Hotel. Yeah, the hotel.
And have you guys actually been in the house yet to conduct your investigation?
Well, we just showed up just now. We haven't been in today.
Watch that rat Dooley.
He does narrow his eyes a bit, but he doesn't press the issue.
Okay.
Well, you didn't lie.
Exactly.
Right, that's true. That today made it, and I said I lied.
Yeah.
All right, he's like, well, don't leave town for a couple of days. We may have some questions for you. It seemed like there were some other older indications of some sort of violence in the house.
Well, as it happens, I'm sort of an expert on the history of this home. As I imagine you'll be as soon as you get back to your station. And I'll tell them that about the history that I know.
Okay.
You know, the violent happenings inside the house over history. You know.
Mm-hmm. I see. Sounds like a ghost story. You know.
It does sound like that.
But in this case, I think it's just a regular sort of Cain and Abel tale. You know. Josiah said that Carl, the dude who did the killing, mentioned something, yelled at Josiah yelled at Joseph not to say those things about his wife.
Oh.
So clearly, it might be one of those sorts of stories. Just an everyday sort of story.
The simplest answers are usually the truest.
Perhaps, officer, but I theorize that there is a potential gas leak within the house. They could not have been in their right mind at the time. Common symptoms are like amnesia, short spans, absences, whilst you have no memory.
I see. And how were you able to determine that?
Well, yesterday when we went in the house, we have not gone in it today, but yesterday we went in.
And where is this gas leak located in the house?
We could not determine it. One of our colleagues fell from the window.
I see.
Most likely overcome with the fumes and became dizzy.
And he fell from the window, you say?
Yes.
The first story or the second story?
Second story.
I see.
I'll point to the window.
Interesting. And your name is, sir?
What is my Josef Mueller.
And do you live here in Boston, sir?
Yes, currently.
And what is your address?
I'll give him my address. Was it
Okay.
somewhere in Arkham?
Or that's in Massachusetts, but yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll answer
Which
truthfully.
so is Boston, but
Okay.
yeah. Oh, that's a bit of a drive down here. So are you staying in a hotel?
Yes, with my other colleagues.
The Linux Hotel. Right. And who else was with you in the house last night?
McCracken. Was it Thompson? What was Ezekiel's? Smith?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I see.
That was all of us. We were all hired by the owner.
To look for things like the
Well,
gas leak.
There's a history, as Herr Newell pointed out, with the house, and he wished us to investigate to hopefully clear the air, put a good foot forward as he attempts to resell or re-rent the house.
Well, I gotta say, we've had some other officers all over that house in the last half hour, 45 minutes or so, and there hasn't been any indication of a gas leak, no amnesia, nothing like that.
No, that's most odd. Perhaps it was just the amount of time that they were in there.
Perhaps. And how long did you guys say you were in the house?
Oh, let's see. I believe that I timed it at about, 5-10 minutes? But the house had been sealed up.
5 and 10 minutes.
But the house had been sealed up before we had gone in there.
I see.
So it could be that it has been aired out enough that maybe it isn't as noticeable.
Well, for now, I'm going to need you guys to clear out. This is a crime scene, but don't leave town over the next few days. We'll have one of our detectives be in touch.
But I have lectures back in Arkham.
Well, you'll just have to put them on hold, Professor.
I,
Anyhow, move along.
Right.
I duly.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, I'll go over and talk to him.
Okay.
Hey, what happened?
So, yeah, he'll give you an earful. He said, I saw
I'll say, what happened?
I saw it all. Them three boys came up in their pickup. They went in the house. They were in there not more than 10 minutes before the fella that they got in the back of the cruiser came out with a hammer and his shirt all covered in blood. The brother came out behind him yelling, looking grief-stricken, the one you see sitting on the porch there.
Yeah, apparently that fellow with the hammer turned that other one's brother's head into a hamburger.
Yeah, it's bad business going in there.
Let's
Hope you boys have learned that.
Some of us have, but others seem not so willing to give up the chase, Mr. Dooley.
Like, if you're going to persist on it, I got a few friends owe me some favors. If you guys need an extra hand, you just let me know.
Well, that's a kind offer. Thank you. We'll keep that in mind. Say, is it possible to send a telegram from your shop?
Yes, sir.
I think we ought to inform our employer of the latest development.
Yeah, probably.
Well, come on in. I'll type it up for you.
Okay. So I'll send disaster, everyone dead. No, I'll...
You have the details.
Yeah, contractors slain, police crawling all over the place,
All right.
denied access.
Does anybody have a law skill?
No.
Any training in it? Okay. All right. So you send the telegram. Mr. Dooley's, of course, happy to sell you any smokes or tobacco you need for the day,
Yeah.
or any periodicals. What do you guys want to do next?
Can I find a... What was it? It's called a Davy lamp.
The light source?
No, it's a flame safety lamp. It's an early type of gas detection.
Oh, okay.
After the canaries, but before traditional gas detection.
Right. Yeah.
But I want to try and find one of those. That way we could put the gas detection theory to the test.
Okay, that's a good idea. Yeah, you guys, it'll take some hunting to find an item like that in the middle of town, but you could probably obtain it with no problem. What's your credit rating?
My credit rating is a 50.
Okay. So that... Yeah, with a 50, you should be able to also purchase it without going over your daily spending limit. But it will take you about half a day to track down.
Okay.
Vincent.
Well, I will just stay here outside Mr. Dooley's shop, if he doesn't mind, and watch what happens.
Yeah, that's actually kind of how the shop is supposed to be. You buy your tobacco,
Yeah.
you buy a newspaper, there's nice comfy chairs.
Yep, that's what I'll do.
You sit in them and smoke and look out the plate glass window.
Yep, that's what I'll do. Because I think something's going to go wrong with the police as well. I have a fear.
Okay.
Well, yes, wandering into a poison gas chamber of sorts.
And Johan, what would you like to do?
It's bad enough that I am forced to remain in this dreary little section of Massachusetts, but my work need not suffer. I will go back to my room and research on my various tomes that I have brought with me.
Okay. All right. Vincent, as far as watching the police, they actually conclude their investigation by lunchtime. And this includes bringing the evidence out in just, bags, like canvas bags, just like one bag with everything they found as evidence.
Yeah.
And then all of the cruisers leave except for one police officer that they post there who stays in his cruiser, and he just sits there.
Okay.
And then that would account for the amount of time that it takes Arthur to find his special gas detecting thing.
Okay.
But you see like a very bewildered and grief-stricken one of the brothers get in his pickup once the police are done with him and travel to some unknown destination.
Would it be possible for me to try to hail him and talk to him?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's what I want to try.
Okay.
And I'll just tell him, we're sent to investigate the house, but what happened in there?
All right, so he slows down his pickup when you flag him down, and he pulls over to the curb. His eyes are bloodshot from not outright crying, but holding back, tears.
Yeah.
And he's like, that new guy I hired a week ago killed my brother.
I was just commiserate. Very sorry for your loss.
Okay.
Why? Why'd he do it?
I don't know. We sent the new guy down into the basement to get a look at what kind of work was supposed to be done down there. And he came up, next thing we know, hollering at my brother Joseph about that he shouldn't say those things about his wife. He's like, you don't know my wife. Don't be acting like you know my wife. And he took his hammer off his belt, and it was almost like it didn't happen, like it couldn't happen, I didn't have any time to react, you see. He was just swinging it. He hit my brother in his head. My brother went down, and then he just hit him again and again. And it wasn't until Lord have mercy, it wasn't until the 6th or 7th swing that I was able to get over there, try to stop him. But it was like he was 3 men all in one. He was so strong, he just hurled me away. And he kept bringing that god-awful hammer down, and I'll never forget that sound.
Well, I'll tell him again I'm very sorry for his loss, and I'll assure him that there was nothing he could have done, but that's where I'll just let him go.
Okay.
And then I'll ask Mr. Dooley where a man can get booze.
Oh. Okay.
Because to drink to keep the blackout, right?
Right. Yeah.
So if I can get a hold of a jug of booze, get
Yeah.
real liquored up.
He's like, well, it's about lunch break. Then he, turns the lights off in the front and gestures for those of you that are there, which I guess is just you, back into his He's got like an office back there,
Okay.
and he pulls out a pretty big jug of some moonshine. And he's like, "You got a little flask? I'd top it up for you."
Yeah, I'll hand him a flask. I'm not gonna drink it yet. I gotta
Okay.
wait for my companions to be here.
Okay.
But that'll be what my plan is when I go back in, is to be good and liquored up.
All right, Johan. With Mythos tomes, of which Corbett's journal is, they have what's called a Mythos rating that you can roll against when you're trying to investigate or find certain answers to do with Mythos entities or Mythos related questions.
All right.
So it's a secret number of what that rating is, but you can roll the dice. If you had, of course, you must have a stated goal or something you're trying to find an answer to.
So, like, let's see. Would, like, some form of disembodiment or unlife count as what I'm looking for? Or would I have to go more specific or in a different direction?
Like if you were looking for
Like, what exactly are you...
like a spell. Well, it could be like, for example, say if in that one shot, the entity you encountered, if you wanted to discover something about that, you would make the roll against the Mythos Tomes rating.
All right.
And that would be the chance that there's something in there that would enlighten you about it.
All right. But
So
because
in-
this isn't an entity in the house, right, we'd have to go for something.
Well, you don't know quite yet.
Okay.
Right? You could, with that disembodied ability type thing, that's not a bad direction to go. You could be, is there some sort of indication that a person could cause their spirit to separate from their body and haunt the place or something like that? Could be a more direct answer.
All right.
So,
Secret roll time?
yeah, you can go ahead and roll it, though.
Oh, 78.
Okay. So the only indication you get are the journal entries. The one that was on the handout where he was preparing for an extended life. I can't remember exactly what it said. So yeah, he wasn't afraid of death because he was going to cross the threshold into everlasting life and power. And previous entries, while really vague, seem to indicate that he had found, although he doesn't mention where or how, some ability to exist beyond his natural death. He was sort of frustrated with the limitations of it, and he indicated that he would be tied to this damn town forever by this method he had found. Arthur,
Yes.
you find what was it called again? Sorry.
It's a just a second. It's called a Davy lamp or a flame safety lamp. DAVY.
So you find your Davy lamp at a hardware store across town, and you're able to purchase it, no problem. Is there anything else you wanted to get while you were there?
Yeah, I want to get an electric torch. That's like a flashlight, right? Okay. And batteries plus 2 spares. Let's see.
Well, that's okay. Just make a.
Can I get? Do they also have like a compass
Yeah.
that I could pick up as well? I've heard that spirits can affect magnetic fields, so we'll see if it goes crazy in there.
All right. So yeah, just make a list. Record that list down, and then once you gather those items, where are you going to go? Are you going to go to the hotel, or are you going to go back to Mr. Dooley's? Did you have a vehicle, or was
I
Finn-
do have would it be like a Ford Model A, I believe,
Okay.
at that time? Is the Model T out?
I think the Model T was the first one.
Was it? Yeah, whatever the current Ford is, because they're economical and reliable. I live in Boston at this time.
All right. So you want to
Life.
just go to your home?
Yes.
All right.
Did you guys say that you were going to be reachable at... well, I'll send a telegraph to these guys wherever the last place that I knew they would be reachable at.
The hotel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And let them know that I have a few things that I want to try. Yeah, to test like the gas theory and other stuff.
Okay, so Johann will receive that telegram around noon, and Mr. Dooley had to get his shop back open.
Yeah. After I know I have a source for booze, I'll go back to the hotel in case Mr. Knott has responded to our
Oh, okay.
earlier telegram.
Yeah, he has. He in his telegram, he says the police contacted him about the same time that yours was sent out, and he's down at the station as we speak. What a mess. Stop.
Yeah. That's what you get. Stop.
You guys have had a little bit of time to think about this, and I need a sanity check from you, each of you. Except for you, Arthur.
Okay.
I don't think I should have to, but whatever. No.
No.
Not,
All right, so
I didn't maintain sanity.
there's no morality in this game like there is in D&D, but the way they deal with bad things happening, like say if you had a spell in which you had to do a human sacrifice to get it to work, there's potential for sanity loss for your character going through it. You don't start to play as a psychopath. Your sanity is also a measurement of
The depths you're willing to reach for.
yeah, like it means you're still a good person. You might be like power hungry or a liar, but you're not a cold-blooded psychopathic killer. So that's the understanding we're at. So this 1 point of sanity loss is from the realization that your investigation didn't conclude in a timely manner to save that poor brother of the renovator's life. So you lose 1 point of sanity for that.
So, like, is 50 the median point?
No, I think if you were an actual psychopath that didn't care about killing people or feel guilty about people that you might have been in some small way responsible for dying, then you're at 0 sanity.
Oh, okay, I see.
Yeah,
So as long as you have some sort of human empathy, you're sane.
yeah. So it's maybe one day we'll play with that, but for now, if you have sanity on that track, then you must adhere to the normal human range of emotions. You're not on the far end yet. So we're going to play to that point if that's a goal for any of your characters.
But
All right. So, did you have a question, Chris? Sorry.
No, I was just saying I succeeded.
Oh, okay. I don't see any problem there. All right. You guys, what's going to be the next move?
Right. So back at the hotel, I will explain my intention to get drunk as hell and go back in the house. I believe the voice we heard that said, or the graffiti, there might be a key there. It said, I don't drink to blackout, I drink to keep the blackout.
No.
So I think if I get drunk enough, I'll be protected from...
Do we know were any of the other occupants of the houses alcoholics or reputed drunkards or anything?
You didn't have that information.
What was it? Joseph was constantly drinking while he was in there.
You weren't a previous occupant of the house.
I was. I was there
but
for 5 or
just
10
saying.
minutes.
But you didn't get drunk.
It didn't. Well,
Outs.
that's the secret, though. Is I'm always drunk. I'm an alcoholic.
Are you sure that you want to continue on this path, Herr Newell?
I have to know what's going on.
Perhaps we should just maybe call in some sort of what would like a someone that would study this type of thing, like gas leaks
Oh, I thought you were talking like a spiritualist.
I don't believe that we're dealing with the spiritual.
So,
Well, what kind of gas could it be at this point in history?
Natural
it,
gas.
it would be either
I don't think they...
like a methane or not methane, oil, and
Right, like how was the house heated?
It had a fireplace. I think in the flavor text for one of the storage rooms, there was some wood stored there that could have been used.
so it would be
the
carbon
living fire.
monoxide then.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
As wood burning produces
have
carbon monoxide.
Plumbing,
Yeah. Yeah.
so it could be sewage.
Methane, yeah.
Methane.
Which could also explain the smell that you
That's true.
encountered.
Yeah.
It's obvious that there's some sort of something foul in the water around there. It's all brackish, brown, nasty stuff.
I agree. So I think we should get gas masks.
Finn scrawls on his notepad that he's in agreement with going back in, but what about the police?
Well, I'll distract them. You kill them.
Mr. Noor,
I don't mean that.
just because we
They're
are on
not going to stay there forever.
just because we are on a
true.
spook
Are
chase
we all
doesn't mean that we are.
reading?
Yeah, let's. I don't want to get bogged down in too much of the arranging the stuff. So, if you guys don't think of it beforehand, I'll just say
I was gonna say
meet
if-
back here for dinner or
Okay.
something like that. So that's what we'll go with, is to meet back there for dinner at the Linux Hotel.
Okay, so for the gas itself, methane and the carbon monoxide, this safety lamp will work, as it'll detect it. So I don't think we necessarily have to get gas masks, but if we use it while we're in there, we'll be able to tell if that is what's happening.
Oh, okay. You have a detector?
Yeah.
Well, we could try it.
As then there's, we can continue on with
It could also be fungus,
their,
sort of
I forgot to write down your name.
fungus that has
Make an education roll,
Mueller?
Vincent.
I am not educated. Where is it?
Education is also
EDU.
what you roll
Oh, yeah. Okay.
when the keeper asks for a no roll. This is like just knowing some detail that's relevant to your character.
5.
So that's
Under-
pretty good.
Yeah.
So there's little
That's the super hard success.
Yeah. There's a little anecdote that has made the circle amongst potato farmers in Idaho. And that was about a farmer who just had a small farm, but they stored their potatoes in a cellar. And for whatever reason, a whole crop had started to rot early in that cellar, and it was a closed space, and it filled with this whatever from the rotting potato. And first, the father went down and he succumbed to these gases and died. And then the mother, and then the oldest son, until finally the youngest daughter was the only one to barely survive. But it was just a closed space with this fetid, rotting gas filling it that killed this whole family one by one.
Okay. So then I'll be like, the professor could be right, and I'll relate the story and say that the murder that just occurred, that young man had gone down into the basement before he came up swinging his hammer. So there very well may be a gas or a fungus that may be causing all of this.
So,
I think gas masks.
yeah, would a gas mask protect against like a fungus?
Well,
Oh,
not if you
some-
touch it.
Well, I mean, breathing it.
It works
It
by a
should.
filter, so
Okay.
anything that's in the air, it will filter out to some degree.
Yeah.
Yeah. As
And,
we can.
and gloves.
Yeah,
Make
definitely
sure
gloves.
no exposed skin. And
Could we find
be drunk.
and get drunk? Could we find like a army surplus? Because they should have them at this point. especially after
What
the
are you
war.
looking for?
Gas masks.
Oh, I
and-
thought
and
you.
then some gloves.
We'll just say it already happened.
Okay.
In fact,
Right,
when you're
nice.
like, we need to get some gas masks, you
I was
already
like, hey,
purchased them.
you know what?
Sanity laws.
I had some.
You guys, any of you remember that time when I blew Chris's mind by having batteries? Does anybody remember this?
No.
It was at the old house.
Well, what
And
was the circumstance?
Well, we were sitting around that table that we used to play at, and somebody had something that needed batteries. And I go, use these. And I had a pack of batteries. And he looked at me so suspicious. And he's like, where did you get that? Does anybody else remember that?
I don't remember that.
But I can see
I
it.
think you're talking about an alternate dimension.
Yeah, he was suspicious. I just had
Why
a
would you
pack
have
of
batteries? No, I can see how it might have went down. All right, so you have the gear you needed. You guys are eating your dinner. John, that does seem like kind of a list. I think your daily spending amount was 50. So I'm going to go ahead and have you make a note that...
But what I was wondering is, since I do investigate this stuff, I do live here.
Yeah.
Could I have common things like the compass, the thermometer?
Yeah. If your residence is here, you can have
the
those
flashlight.
things. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Well, with just the specialty items, we'll say you're in the clear then.
Okay. Because, yeah, at that point, it would really just be the gas mask and the gloves.
All right. So Finn poses the question. So when do we go back into the house?
We have to do it when either the officer posted has left or fallen asleep.
Okay.
And what had we decided? Like the best time for spirit activity was between 12:30 and
What?
1:30,
12 and 2:30?
somewhere around there.
Yeah.
All right.
So, what, go tonight? And did that place have a back door?
Yeah. Or a side door, anyways.
We could,
Try to sneak
yeah,
in.
we could just try and sneak in. And
Well, yeah, let's try to sneak in. Well, let's see what's going on there. Maybe the officer's already there.
yeah, and it's they arrested the guy that did it. It's not a mystery.
Yeah.
Well, they
Or-
were worried about the previous violence that had seemed to have prevailed inside the house.
Yeah, they might still be there.
And it is a crime scene. They are
Yeah,
still
they
probably
do.
investigating.
They do have early forensic evidence that they cover. But, without any of you guys having a usable law skill, you wouldn't know what the standard procedure would be in that case. But the last information that you had was Vincent said the guy was still posted there. And that was at around 1 or 2 in the afternoon.
Perhaps we don't need to re-enter the house. Maybe attempt to, if you still believe it to be a spirit, maybe we could bring the spirit here. Or a different location, maybe perhaps the old church.
Oh,
I'll try to summon it.
Perhaps. I don't
I
know
could
much
assist
about
you with that.
Well,
Maybe.
What's your cult?
65.
Yours is slightly better than mine.
I've heard there's multiple tribes back home that call upon their ancestors. As I'm sure that I can attempt one of them.
At the very least, we could get it out of the house.
Do you want to try and find like a priest to bless it, even? I mean,
Everything should work, yes.
Yeah.
I think we still might have holy water inside the house.
okay.
We attempted to perform a seance, but some of our people wandered off and succumbed to the poisonous gas in the miasma in the air.
Yeah.
Well, I do think we need to enter at least in the beginning to try and figure out first if it's a gas. Because if it's a gas, we don't need to do a seance.
Yeah, I performed
Or
a seance, a quick impromptu one, and all I heard was some banging of the pipes.
Yeah, well, I mean, it is an old building.
I know, that's
Yeah.
what I'm saying. The seance turned up nothing.
So let's try and get in and test the gas. And if it turns out to be gas, then that's it.
All right. Surely we need it all go to test if there's gas. Perhaps I will remain here. Perhaps see about discovering something. Perhaps I'll go to the library, see if I can find more occult rituals or something that could help us in Summing. And perhaps Erfin would go search for a place that would be suitable to perhaps summon the spirit if it does turn out to be so.
Vincent, do you want to go with me?
Oh, I'm going in that house.
All right.
Actually, Finn gives
wanna-
some disagreement to that point.
He wants to go in.
Yeah, he notes that, as well as for making his report to Rupert, that when we all went in last time, like everybody went every which way, and he says, I think if there is something that confuses us, we should have a plan and try to stick to that and not get distracted.
Yes, this is true. Last time, the seance was nearly cancelled because everyone began to wander.
So you guys have a better idea of what the house layout is than I do. So if we came in the side door, what room would we be in?
You have to pose your questions to Herr Newell.
It's the middle set, the ground floor.
Yeah.
There's a little open door on the side of it. I
Right
think
over
it's in
here.
room 3.
Yeah.
And that's the mud room?
Yeah, you guys, I believe Joseph looked in that room.
Okay. So gas doesn't fill one space and then move on. It should fill all the spaces it has access to. So from the mud room, we should be able to tell if it's gas. If we need to, though, we can go out into, I'm assuming, a hallway.
Yeah. Well, I say we should go in through the mudroom, immediately to the stairs and down into the base.
Oh, you just want to go straight to the source?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I mean, let's do that, and just don't split up. I mean, everybody stay in the group, and if there's any type of issue, then we leave the house rather than split up. Everybody leaves at the same time. What do you guys... And that would stop any type of confusion from one or two people wandering off by themselves.
I think it's a good plan.
Because everybody can't have the same confusion at the same time.
Well, who says that?
Well, me. I am a psychologist. I have psychology.
I don't know if you are grasping just how strong the effects seem to be inside the house.
At this point in time, has there been a mass hysteria? Everybody experiencing the same type of thing?
Yeah.
What was the
In
event?
history, there was...
Historically, I don't know, but I'm sure that there are. And just like nowadays, it just takes longer. If that's the rabbit hole you want to go down, you go to the library and you find all these different written accounts. And just like getting on the internet, I mean, you're going to start
Yeah.
seeing enough of it that
So-
it kind of becomes real.
Based on the information that you guys had from your last investigation, there was moving furniture.
Yeah, including a bed hitting my friend in the back and knocking him out the window.
Again, the friend
There
that was
was-
knocked out of the window disputes that. I saw nothing moving. So
There was a dresser,
That
and the drawers were flying out, hitting
okay.
a couple of us.
So if it's spiritual, it's some poltergeist activity. If it's not, then
But it's hallucinations
yeah.
brought on by...
there was also somebody was talking, was saying things about what was it, like get
Perhaps
out or
you should
something?
leave.
Okay.
And no solicitors, which I can...
And there
100%
was
agree
multiple
to.
people that had said it, correct?
Yeah,
Okay.
reportedly.
So that's either possession or something.
Channeling.
What would be something that causes everybody to say the same thing over and over again? Multiple people to say that.
Sounds like possession to me.
Professor, I think that would probably be something that you could research if needed, if it
Possession?
goes to that. Not possession. If there's any known fungus or mold that makes people say weird things, but
Experience
affects
a,
everybody the same way.
a shared hallucination?
Auditory and visual.
I think I might
hallucinations.
know some.
In the 20s? But LSD was until later.
I never said it was LSD, but
Oh.
there's stuff that leads up to all that stuff.
Yeah,
it all
there
starts
is.
in plant form somewhere.
There's some tribes in Africa that use some pretty potent.
Yeah.
LSD was synthesized in 1938, but there still would have been mushrooms and all the other psychedelic type stuff.
There's a, I think it's a
Ayahuasca is what you're thinking
exactly.
of. Yeah, that's been in use for ever.
Yeah.
That will definitely make you hallucinate. Okay, so yeah, that sounds good to me. How many cars do you guys want to take?
I will take some public transportation. I enjoy walking the city.
All right, Chris, would you like to play William?
Yeah, sure.
Because Mr. Dooley has a suspicion that you boys aren't going to get the hint and you're going to get to the bottom of this one way or the other. And he wants to make sure that there's somebody with them savvy enough to get them all through alive. So William gets a telegram that early afternoon saying that you might have something you're interested in, plus there's that favor you owe me.
The murder happened.
What's that?
The murder happened.
Oh, and the
too.
murder happened. So maybe you want to poke you have a big or little nose?
Probably big nose.
Your big nose into this one.
Yeah, you're in luck. Stop. I'm a town or two away on my way back to New York. Stop. Heading your way now.
Okay.
Stop.
So yeah, he says he'll be, the return message is that he'll be at the shop. Just come there. I'm sure them boys will show up sometime. And that's where you will be when this plan goes through. So any last minute adjustments you guys want to make?
No, I think it's simple's best at this point. Just go in, check for gas. If it's not gas, start the seance.
And what time do you want to go to the house?
Do you want to do like the midnight or 12:30?
Yeah.
Okay. We'll show up at 12:30.
All right. So you guys show up at the house. The police cruiser has departed. Mr. Dooley's shop is still open, oddly enough, even though the posted hours are much later. And when he recognizes your guys' car pull up, he comes out the door in a hurry and waves you all over.
I have begun to suspect that there's more to Mr. Dooley than meets the eye.
I agree with this assessment.
So I'll shoot him. No.
It's the only way to be sure.
Well, yeah, and then anyway, I'll, so we'll go over. Hey there, Mr. Dooley. What do you say?
Oh, I'm not going to try to talk you out of it, but I know you boys are going back in that house.
Exactly. How did he know that?
Where was I going? I lost
I'm
my train of
Arthur.
thought. Arthur, Mr. Dooley.
Use an accent.
I can't.
Come on,
I don't even
John.
know what the accent would be.
British? Well, South African. I'm not sure if it had. I don't know the history of South Africa that much, but I'm not sure how long it has been there and whether you would have had time to develop a unique accent or if you would just have the standard British accent. Okay, so he says, I know you boys are planning on going in there, and I'm not going to stand by and let anybody get hurt. So I got a good friend of mine, War Buddy.
Yeah, well, that's how he will say it, but he just worked the mess hall.
All right. He's a war buddy of mine, so you guys know you can count on him.
Where were you guys stationed?
Saint
War conversation.
Saint Mihiel, France.
Over in France. Hey, hi, Billy. Start shaking hands. Yeah, good to meet you.
Arthur.
Oh, that's a grip you got on you. I'll take a couple swings at him.
We started in the my war started in the colonies. We worked our way up.
Yeah, I'll take a couple shadow boxing swings at you.
Oh yeah, let's do it.
So I got a 12 under 80.
Oh, wow.
Dodge.
Don't worry, they won't connect.
89 over 50.
You can also fight back. And it works kind of like old Shadowrun that if you win the opposed test, you're the one who deals the damage. The shadow damage.
Okay. So I roll my fighting?
Yeah.
Chris has the advantage in that he...
19 under 80. That's hard success.
You got a regular success?
No, I have a 12 under 80.
Oh, is that an
I
extreme
was going to
success?
say that should be an extreme.
Yeah.
Mine would be 16. I'll use 4 luck to.
So yeah, William has the superior shadow boxing skill.
You would have taken...
I wasn't expecting it, but I did get defense up a little bit.
You would have taken... Was that 7 shadow damage?
Oh no!
Major wound.
Yeah. So I'm like, you're real quick there. Yeah. Not as slow as you think I am. Anyway, I'll push back my fedora and
You
puff
move
on my
well
cigar.
for an old timer.
So he's a big man. He's wearing a tan trench coat right now, a white dress shirt that might have some fast food stains on it, some suspenders, a rumpled fedora, kind of a round face.
And so far as you know, Mr. Dooley is on the up and up, as far as your background.
Well, yeah,
There's-
me and Dooley go way back in the trenches.
Well, has Mr. Dooley explained to you what you're signed up for?
Oh yeah, some hogwash about going in there. I don't much care about that. I'm here for the murder. That's what I do. I take pictures for a local rag back in New York, right?
Okay.
And so I'm here for that. I'm going to take some pictures of the crime scene, get past those cops. Stupid sons of. But always trying to keep a good man down. I work for a living. I got laughing kids at home.
Okay.
You know.
Yeah, and you had been there for a while, William, so the police cruiser was still there when you arrived, and
Just sitting around wasting taxpayers' money.
and they did like the change out, and the new one for the night shift was there for all of an hour and a half before he just did a check on the house, got back in his cruiser, and left.
Yeah, lazy SOB. Barely even doing his job. But he's fresh, so we gotta keep our eyes out, right? I'm used to all this. I've been getting behind crime scene lines for a while now, all right? It's
Okay.
no trouble.
All right. Sounds good then.
All right.
Do we have enough gas masks for him?
You probably had
Well,
one.
I had assumed that Johan was going to go with us, so
Johan.
I did have one.
Sounds like
He's a German spy.
I bet.
Is,
Can't trust a single one of them.
For them, the war's
Madmen
not
and
over.
murderers.
He's
They're only taking a 20-year break.
he's an academic man.
Yeah, academic at killing people, probably.
When you said you were here for the murder, I had assumed something other than pictures. I didn't know that's what we were getting into walking into this house.
Hey, I'm a law-abiding citizen of the U.S. I'm a hot-blooded man from the USA, American, born and bred. I ain't into no murder. Just
Yeah.
taking pictures of it. Let the, I'll
What was your last name? You were William who?
Brown. My friends call me Billy Brown.
Billy Brown.
Yeah. Throw a couple more punches at that limey. Anyway, give me a second, and I'll go over to my beater of a car and get out my camera.
All right.
Hopefully, we can find a good blood stain.
Mr. Dooley says, if you boys running into any trouble, I'll keep the jug open and you run back here.
All right, Dooley. Yeah, we'll be careful. No trouble here.
All right, so the plan, I believe, was to proceed to the side door entrance.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay,
Into the mudroom.
into the mud room. So for Arthur and William, you see when you guys walk into there, I think you had to unlock it for whoever had the key. I don't believe you guys actually went out this one.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, we have the key.
Yeah, you have the key, yeah. So you unlock it, and there were overcoats, galoshes, hats, and umbrellas, several bags of coal for the living room's freestanding stove. And you notice that aside from the lock, there were 3 other bolts installed on the door. And you guys push through that room into the hallway, heading for the basement door,
Yes.
which is closed at the moment. And when you get to it, who's taking the lead?
I'll take the lead. I'll also have my safety lamp out. The way that it works is, and let me just double check just to be accurate. So it has an oil flame adjusted to a specific height. So when we get in there, I'll I'll adjust it outside, so adjust it for fresh air. As a glass sleeve with a mesh, and
you're running this as soon as you go into the house?
yes. So if the flame goes up, that represents gas. If it goes down, it would represent lack of oxygen.
Okay.
Right. If it stays the same, then
So it stays steady in the mudroom in the hallway, and the lights are still on in the hallway. You can see that stain of blood in the ceiling has blackened, and it's more of a brown colored stain now.
I'll point that out for Billy. Do you want to get a picture of that?
Oh yeah, is that where the murder's supposed to happen? Up on the second floor?
No, I thought it happened on the first.
Yeah, murder happened on the first
He
floor.
came out of the basement. And
It came out of the basement where we're going. There was another investigator that apparently had gotten hurt, but his bloodstains are probably outside.
You can actually see further down the hallway towards the main entrance quite a mess of blood and little gobs.
I'll be
and bits
using
of
the
hair.
flashlight for this.
Well, that interests me a little bit more, though.
So yeah, I'll go the gobs of flesh and whatnot.
I'll take a picture of that first. Bloodstains on the ceiling that aren't related. That makes for a good other story, but
Yeah.
I'll get those next.
All right. So
setting
let's
up.
go with him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll go with him and watch him as he takes his photos. Oh, I'll be drinking heavily.
Hey,
While
Having
he's
it?
doing his setup for
I'll
the
share it,
photos,
I don't drink all the time, but you got to keep this stuff under, you got to test it because they're always coming out with a stronger version.
That's true.
Right? You got to make sure you're up to date on it.
This is the homemade stuff.
Oh, yeah. Remove paint, all right.
All right. We'll get to the first stage. At that stage of drunkenness, you don't receive any penalties to anything,
Okay.
except for maybe a really complex, dexterous type maneuver. You will, though, if I call for a sanity roll, keep it in mind, have a bonus dice to it.
Guess which character just became an alcoholic?
That does have diminishing
Right.
returns. Okay, so you're going to set up for this picture, and Vincent, are you going to proceed to the basement door?
we're all staying with him.
Okay.
Yeah, we're going to stay as a
While
group.
Nice
he's setting
try.
up, I'm also gonna check the compass to see if it's doing anything weird.
So your indicators, both the lamp and the compass, appear to be behaving normally.
And the thermometer.
Yeah.
You lost over there, Tommy?
For you, though, Arthur, you do hear when you're walking around, there's this clanking, rattling sound coming from a room on the first floor.
Okay. I'm going to notate that in my little notepad that I carry around.
Where was the mess? Down the hall?
Yeah, just down the hall towards the main
Okay.
entrance. On that map, it would be just outside of room 2
Where's our entrance?
on the ground floor.
We came in here, so here's the hallway.
Okay.
All right, it takes you a few minutes to get set up for that picture. There's a blinding flash as you ignite the powder.
Is there any windows looking into this part? Or
No.
Okay, because if there was, he'd tell.
There's
someone
some
to check it.
frosted glass on the front door.
Might want to
I don't
go.
think you'd be able to see it.
Well, I'm worried about someone
The
outside.
flash wouldn't be super noticeable, but it would light up the frosted window of the front door entrance.
Oh, yeah, okay, because it's there.
All right. Hey, Tommy, go check, poke your head outside, make sure that cop ain't anywhere around.
Okay. So I'll go use the side entrance, go around and
Okay.
do a look-see and see if I see any police.
You don't see any police out there. Just Mr. Dooley watching you.
Okay. As I'll head back in, tell him no bobbies out here.
Good boy, Tommy. Good boy.
30 under 70 for my photo.
Is that a regular or a hard success for you? 30 under 70? I think that'd be a hard success.
No, because it'd be. I haven't updated my.
Right.
Yeah,
Did you say 38 or 30?
38.
Oh, okay. I'm not sure. I can't do the math. Whatever the half is. If you
Maybe
got a hard
35.
success, hold on to that picture because it's a good one
Oh, okay.
and it's publishable. Well, a regular one would be too, but that would be one that would catch somebody's eye.
Then I'll set up for the one on the ceiling if they aren't hurrying me along. We're all in gas masks too, right?
Yeah, I am gonna point out that while I'm writing that down as well, that there is, you said chains rattling.
No, there's a clinking and rattling coming
Clinking
from
and
one of
rattling.
the rooms. As you would be walking down the hallway towards the front door, it happens quite often. It's to your left.
So we're going
It would
this
be
way.
coming from room 4 and 5.
It's coming from these rooms.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, I'll point out clinking and rattling noise coming from living room and dining room.
In fact, that living room door is still open, and you can see where the black is in has been scrawled all over the walls with charcoal. Make a power roll.
Everyone?
Nope, just Arthur.
Nice. 1
Nice.
Oh,
under 50.
Oh,
All right.
nice. Even better.
that's a critical success.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
That's crazy.
Everything. You can just a peek in there, just peeking your head in there. You can see the china cabinet appears to be the source of this noise,
Okay, and then I'll state that as well.
and it's just the percussion and what's that the term? The vibration of moving around the house just seems to rattle where it's set. All right, so yeah, about 10 to 15 minutes to get those 2 pictures.
Do you want me to roll for the second one? Or
William,
just
yeah, you can if you'd like.
26 under.
Another
7?
good one.
That one is,
Hard success.
yeah.
Okay, so yeah, you guys have gotten your pictures, and now you're prepared to go to the basement door.
Has any of the indicators changed? The safety lamp, the thermometer, or the compass?
No, I'll let you know, or perhaps call for a roll in
Okay.
certain conditions for you to notice it.
I should have got some dowing rods. Is that what they're called? Find water? Yeah. Supposed to work for spirits.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, Vincent,
Yes.
go for the basement door. As
Yes.
soon as your hand touches the doorknob, you hear the familiar fist smashing into flesh sound coming from the second floor. You heard
Anybody
it.
else hear that?
You all hear it.
Yeah, that
Yes.
sounds familiar.
Yeah, we heard that before.
Okay. So let's just continue into the
Yes,
basement.
let's not get distracted. I'll pull my mask aside and take a drink.
Okay.
Defeating the whole purpose.
First test was inconclusive.
No, the
Come on,
alcohol cancels out.
That's
If
true,
you were
yeah.
continuously drinking alcohol during a mustard gas attack,
You'd
or
be
something,
fine.
you'd be It is known. All right, so the door to the basement has a lock and 3 bolts, but they're all disengaged at the moment. Although you can see once you open it that it can only be opened from the upstairs side. Below is the main basement storage room. The stairs leading down into it are in poor repair, and the electric light bulb that you can see just glinting in the hallway light isn't on, although you do see a switch just off to your immediate right in the basement.
I'll flick it.
The light flares for a moment, but then pops.
Okay, torch.
Doesn't
side.
pop. Sorry, it just
Burns out.
like it burned out, or maybe a fuse was blown.
All right, I'll turn on my. Or,
Electric.
no, I had a lantern.
Yeah, we should already have. I have a flashlight as well. Oh well,
I'll hold
electric
up
torch.
the lantern and head down the stairs.
Okay, so you can see as you shine it down there that there's a bunch of scattered like tools, pipes, lumber, nails. You can just see it all on the floor.
Okay.
And you can also see that those stairs are in pretty bad shape, and they look like they'd be difficult to navigate. In fact, you're kind of wondering, like exactly how the murderer did that without hurting himself.
Oh, okay.
Wait, sorry, what?
The murderer, Carl was his
Yeah.
name,
Yeah.
without hurting him, without like falling down. It's a wonder he didn't just.
All right. But is there a way to get down?
You can negotiate them with a combined roll of dex or climb.
That's going to be a pain in the old posterior trying to get that camera down there. Help you down past the equipment?
To be clear,
Yeah.
failure with this roll does not mean you fall down the steps. That only happens if you then decide to push the roll that you failed. So you're safe to try it.
78 over 65.
So what are we doing?
Vincent kind of looks at it and he says, "I don't know. It seems pretty risky."
So it's climb.
Dex, it's a combined
Oh.
roll. Dex or climb.
Okay.
You only have to beat one of them.
25 under.
Well, who's second? I guess
I would be leading. I think.
or Vincent was.
Yeah,
in
You're
I went
going first, so I
yeah.
would be second. So
Okay.
testing. Want to test the gas level as soon as possible.
And what was your roll?
25 under 60, so that's a hard success.
Okay, so yeah, you get down to the basement level, and you can see that the walls of the basement are lined with closely fitted boards. And as I told Brandon, it's a smallish room that has scattered tools, pipes. There's a trash can lid, lumber, nails, screws, and so forth. When you get down there you do see a way that you might be able to help these guys get down. If
Okay.
you wanted, with some of the lumber.
Kind of make almost like a ramp.
Yeah.
Okay.
right.
Yeah, so I'll say, tell Billy, wait, let me throw some of this lumber up there. We'll make you a ramp.
Actually, I think I'm good. I
where
think
we
I
get
can
your
do this.
equipment.
I can come down and help you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, right. Because I had to get under my deck.
Right, yeah.
So yeah, 37 under 60.
Okay. So yeah, you
Hey,
down
hold
there.
this real quick. I'll be right back.
I'll take a picture.
just of your hand or something. All right. Finn makes it down without issue. And he has his lantern. He just holds it up and he's looking around the room.
Any change to temperature here?
It is colder,
Okay.
but not
It's a
unusual.
normal decrease,
Yeah.
though. Okay, I just want to make sure that it's actually working.
Yeah.
You all right? Why you always doing that?
you got all these instruments going.
Yeah, you got this pretty fancy lamp over here. You're taking the temperature. What's up with all that?
Just in case it's a paranormal rather than a gas leak.
More of that spook BS, huh?
Well, that is why I decided to come down.
Well, to each their own, but I'm a good Catholic boy. I don't believe in any of that stuff. You don't need it.
Well, of course you do. You believe in the Holy Spirit. This is a spirit of a different kind.
You're lucky that this character probably isn't educated enough in biblical knowledge to correct you on that. But
All right. It's just a single room.
No, there's a second.
Oh, okay, I see. Did we have any reports on where the original owner and builder Corbett was supposed to be buried down here?
in the basement.
Yeah,
Just
You guys
in the
will have to
basement in
search
general.
around.
Okay.
I wanted to shine the light upon the surfaces to see if I can,
Like the walls.
to see if there's any mold or mushrooms or anything
Right.
like that.
No, there's just a lot of clutter. There is a faint musty smell, but it doesn't seem unusual for the basement.
Yeah, is it a dirt floor?
No, it's an actual floor. You do see that other room there was a storage bin that was once intended for coal, but they had boarded over the opening in there with the same sort of boarded slats they use for the rest of the wall.
Okay.
Yeah, if you guys want to spread out and search the area, we can do spot hidden rolls.
Okay.
Oh, nice.
Got 4 under 60. Super success. What's it called? Extreme?
Extreme, yeah.
Yeah. So I see all things as they truly are.
What, you got a 2?
Yeah, 2 under 45.
Okay.
Nothing can.
I have
Nothing can beat that. I got a 2.
I have a 1
What?
under 50.
What?
That's an extreme success.
I think I have a flashlight on my person too, so I'll be
Okay.
trying that
Jeez.
round. Also, occasionally I'll take notes.
See, this is what happens when you get 3 soldiers together
Perfect spot
from
hidden.
World War One. They
true.
immediately see everything.
That kraut was probably holding you back,
Yeah.
right?
I happen to agree with you.
Yep.
I happen to agree with you.
This is the power of allies right here.
Yeah,
Nothing can stop a God-fearing country, especially when you start joining them together, right?
Right. True enough.
So I know, Vincent, you wanted to direct your search at the walls. William, was there anything in particular you were looking at?
I'm looking for stuff that's pertinent to my
right.
journalist job, so ghastly
Arthur?
remains.
I want to see if there is any type of occult paraphernalia around.
Okay.
Any type of markings, ceremony material. If possible, I want to try to get back into this other room too.
Okay. Yeah, you can break those boards down. So let's see here. First, William and Vincent, you both confirm each other's suspicions. Is that the wall? So we'll say that pointing to Chris is north. So the west wall, there appears to be a crawl space that's been boarded over. There's a hollow area beyond it. Exactly how room 2 appears to be boarded over. Like you think there might have been another. There's more beyond that wall, the west wall.
Yeah.
It's down low. I mean, you would have to bust out those boards and crawl through it.
Well, there should be a nearby tool that's
Yeah.
suited to that purpose.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll call everybody's attention to it.
But at the same time, Arthur, you're kind of digging through the junk, and you find an ornamental knife that immediately catches your eye,
Okay.
and it's kind of looks like it's rusted or something. But when you spot it, both Vincent and William are, in the way that men, when there's a task or something, they both recognize are kind of like, this wall is hollow here. You sure are right.
Sure
I'd say.
is.
Yeah. Yeah, well.
We're gonna have to get you're like working together to figure out how to get it down.
Yeah, see what you got here is boards.
I'll
Think we can muscle it?
Yeah, well, there's tools around. There's
I'll
gotta be
show
like
'em.
a crowbar or an axe.
I'll brawl
So-
the wall.
Yeah. Stand aside.
I found a knife.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, right. I'll take a look at that.
Think it's a murder weapon?
All right, so he's held up this ornamental knife, and it seems to leap from his hand, and you're very clear that he didn't throw it at you. And Arthur, you feel some force imbue the knife, and it's almost like it's a living thing. It kind of leaps from your hand
Going.
towards William.
Could I make a dexterity roll to try and catch it?
Well, that's what we're going to do, but first,
Oh, no!
If-
I'm gonna channel the spirit of Billy Brown, pull my Colt 1911, and pop
Shoot
it out of the air.
Billy Brown doesn't have a Colt. He's got a sawed-off shotgun in that trench coat.
Yeah, that
all
works
right,
too.
yeah. So what you need, because this happens really quick, is an extreme dex success. And from William, you may dodge.
So as it leaps out, I can
32 under 50.
rush it.
Can't get over on me. I was dodging mortar shells and artillery.
So do you have to beat my dodge? Is that how it works? Or
In the case of a dodge, if the defender or the attacker needs a higher degree of success.
okay.
So if he gets a regular to your regular,
Okay.
then you dodge.
And then if I get a hard, you have to go extreme?
yeah,
Okay.
right. So you got a regular success, you said?
Yeah.
Well, the knife did hit you. All right, so the knife plunges towards you. Depending on the damage, will determine where it sinks into you, but it's 1d4 plus 2 damage. You got that good hit point pool. So 3. So this is kind of a graze. I mean, it does cut you pretty deep, but it shoots past you. All right, William. So yeah, knife cuts you on the arm, a little deep enough for a little jet of blood to come out of it. What would you like to do?
I'd like to grab that knife.
Okay. All right. So you guys, William, what were you holding? You had a electric torch.
Yeah.
All right. So you drop it as you kind of recoil from the sanity loss, and it clatters to the ground and does just rolling in sort of a slow circle. And you drop one of your instruments. You drop your compass,
Okay.
and you shout out something like, "What kind of ideas do you have for your character that would an unintended?"
This is just by
Yeah.
surprise.
Yeah.
Crikey.
Not a
Blinding.
I'll shout out just like gods or something like that, or by the gods.
All right. So William, you wanted to grab a hold of this knife.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so this is an opposed test, and you can use your fighting brawl skill for this one.
Right.
And I'm rolling a skill of 90. So round the up and up.
77 under 80.
So I got 43, which is a hard success. In this case, it doesn't deal any damage to you. It just kind of floats away, like further out of your reach as you're grabbing for it in the air. All right, moving over to Vincent. So you and William were looking at these boards, and he drew your attention to this knife he found in it. He didn't throw it. It flew out of his hand and cut William, and William made a grab at it. What would you like to do?
Well, it's obviously of paramount importance to stop the flying knife, so I'll try to grab a hold of it.
Okay. You can use your fighting brawl skill to grab a hold of it.
Okay. I did not succeed.
Okay. It got a regular success, so it just floats out of your reach again. It's like you guys are trying to catch a hummingbird in the air or something like that.
Okay.
Going to Arthur.
I'll go for it too. 66 under 80. It's a normal.
All right, so Arthur, you managed to snatch it out of the air
Can I drive it into the ground?
on the following turn. Oh, in combat, you guys can take one significant action.
Oh, okay.
So that's what you're limited to. So that'll make it around to the... So this knife starts struggling with you. So I will need a strength from you. I got a regular success.
Regular success. 62 under 80.
Okay, so you managed to hold on to it. All right, William.
Does it look like
You can
Arthur's
see it's
struggling?
like he's holding on to somebody that's like whipping him around.
I'll go try to aid him or
Okay.
something if I'm able to. I'll
Hold on, little buddy.
All right, go ahead.
Okay. So what am I using? Brawn
We'll
still?
do
Or strength.
strength, yeah.
14 under 60.
Nice. Good. That's is that a extreme for you?
I don't know. I
Or
didn't
no,
put it
60,
in.
sorry. As it's close, you needed a 12.
All right, so yeah, you're helping him hold on to this. For future tests, I'll give you a bonus to your roll when it tries to struggle out.
Okay.
Vincent?
Yeah, so they got a hold of it.
Yeah. But you can see, even with both of them, it's still kind of moving him a little bit.
Well, I guess I'll try to help them.
All right. Or there's who had the idea to drive it into something?
Me. I wanted to
next
drive
turn.
it into the ground.
Yeah,
Okay,
you
well,
you
what-
might be able to put something on the point, some of the lumber that's lying
Yeah, let me
around.
pick up a board and try to
Try to put it on there.
hit it. Yeah.
Okay. So for that, we'll just do a dex roll.
50 under 60.
All right, so you just pick up a piece of lumber and you swing it onto the point tip. They're holding it by the handle, and it sticks right into it.
Ha!
And for the two of you, at that, it seems like the energy in the blade went out of it.
Okay. I'll immediately check the safety lamp.
Okay, all of your indicators are still nominal.
I'll take a picture of the knife
Okay.
and then of the crawl space before we start breaking it down.
Okay.
I'll also high five everybody and crack a beer
Ah,
to cheers.
Did the journal have any description of the knife he used?
Yes, actually. In fact, it seemed like he used it to perform a number of rituals.
Yeah, and I mean, but what I'm asking is...
Yeah, he said that when he killed, or when they did the sacrifice, where they had to draw blood,
Yeah.
that he
blood
couldn't get
wouldn't
rid of the
come
blood.
off,
And
right.
when you examine it, you can see that what looked like rust at first is actually dried blood.
Okay, so
Think
I'll-
this is a murder weapon?
I'll point out that this has been used in sacrifices, according to its previous owner's journal.
Like
Yeah.
human sacrifices?
Yeah.
It was just a blood sacrifice, not life or death
Oh,
sacrifice.
okay.
So they just had to draw. The journal described him and 2 others drawing blood with that knife.
Probably cutting their hands.
What was Dooley's name? Robert?
Yeah.
So we're like Rob.
Yeah.
Rob's got some explaining to do. He didn't tell me that there's all sorts of crazy spook stuff going on over here. He just told me that a murder happened. That's... People die every day.
I was going to tell you. But when I asked if you knew what you were getting into, you said you did. So...
Well, thanks for looking out for me.
All right. What's the next step?
Let's break down these boards, get in this little space here.
Well, I don't trust just leaving this knife.
Well, yeah,
Let's put it
so
in
we
a
should
satchel.
secure it.
Picture of the knife.
I'll secure it in my bag with the rest of the gear.
Picture of the knife is 2 under...
Oh, no.
And
It
then
was a murder weapon.
and then the crawl space. Well, I'm going to label it as a murder weapon. I think.
It's a cop.
Okay, so the crawl space one doesn't
It's a
turn
blurry
on.
one.
Yeah.
All right. So it takes me about 10 minutes to get those pictures, and you stored the knife in your leather satchel.
Yeah, I want to try and secure it as much as I can.
Okay.
And
What
that-
are your ideas?
Well, the safety flame has a case so that you don't break the glass. So put it inside of there.
Okay. All right. So you guys break down those boards on the crawl space, and you can see there's some sort of spore in there, which is tracks or the scent of animals. When you break it down, does anybody have, what is it? Natural world?
I do.
Yeah, you can roll that.
Fail.
Well, you could surmise that it's from a rodent of some kind.
And it's old?
No, there are some fresh.
Yeah. Animal tracks. Probably rats.
Also, in that crawl space is that scribed on the opposite wall.
You're
Is
going to want
what?
to get a picture of that, buddy.
What is it?
The eye.
The
Oh,
symbol.
the eye.
The 3 Y's.
What the heck's that?
The 3 Y's in the eye.
This one does not appear to be freshly painted.
The I and the Y.
Yeah, so I'll set up and take a picture of that.
Yeah, the I and the Y. I like that.
62 under 70.
Okay. So the crawl space is situated in such a way that you have to get down on hands and knees, and it's narrow enough that only one person can get in there. But doing a quick poke of your head in there, you see that you can crawl down, and it appears to go into another room. You would crawl through this area for a couple of feet, and then it would so it kind of like you come in here, it goes like that, and then it would come out into another opening. You can see the opening as you look down to your left. How would you guys like to proceed?
I can go first.
Why don't you go ahead?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'll go in first,
Is that-
and yeah,
Okay.
crawl through and get in there.
So Arthur gets down on his hands and knees and starts crawling into this wall space. And you got cobwebs, and it smells pretty bad, but you think maybe
Say
that's just
nothing compared to the trenches.
that's true. And you crawl to the end of it, and you poke your head into the other room, where you can see, lying motionless and seemingly dead on a pallet in the center of the room, is a drawn wooden-looking, wizened figure of some 6 feet, skinny and naked, with ghastly, wide, flaring, saucer-like eyes and a nose like a knife blade. Some sort of chain rests around his neck. He has lost all hair, and his shrunken gums make his teeth look very long. He's kind of laying there with like a death grimace on his face. From him comes a sharp, sweet, churning scent like rotten corn. The floor is earthen in this part, and there's a table in the southwest corner upon which you can see some curled pages.
All right, I'll call back. Got a body in here. It looks like it's been here for quite a while, though.
About time, something normal.
Power roll, Arthur.
I'll start making my way down there. Or are we all doing it?
I'm going
I'm
to
not
use
going in
3 luck,
Claustrophobic.
Okay.
and I got 50, which is my
Regular
power.
success.
Yeah.
All right, so Arthur called back that information, and then he's quiet for a time. You hear some rustling in there, and then Arthur, you come to. Make an intelligence check for me.
55 over 50.
Okay. All right. So how do you guys respond to that?
Well, I want to go in. Like, we finally got something normal here.
Okay. All right. So you start crawling in behind him, and he's still casting his electric torch across the room. Make a spot hidden.
23 under 45.
Okay. So the knife that you saw him securely stash in his satchel is behind him, like at his feet.
I'll pick it up.
Drop
Alright.
this, buddy.
I'll look at it and kind of confused look on my face. I'll get into my satchel and open the case that I had put the knife in. Is the knife there?
Dodge roll. It's not there.
Who, him?
Yeah.
53 under 80,
Which is a regular.
which is a yep.
So I got a hard success here. The knife twists in your hands and flies towards you, dealing 1d4 plus 2 points of damage.
You want me to roll that?
Yeah.
So 4 damage.
Okay.
Wily bugger.
Is that, what is your hit points?
13.
13. Okay. So it doesn't deal a major wound, but it does cut you pretty deep, and when it whips past you, it goes in the room where that corpse is lying.
Okay.
So we'll go ahead and proceed with you since you're in the lead.
So it hits me and then just cuts me.
Yeah.
Okay. And then it goes into that room. So I'll curse at it and go in after it.
Okay. Vincent, you heard some scuffle in there, and William had just climbed into the crawl space.
Yeah.
And you heard some talking. You probably actually made out what they said. And Finn is behind you, waiting to go into the crawl space.
Oh, probably heard what Arthur's, or I said, William
Yeah,
said for
right.
sure, because he's a loud
Yeah,
talker.
I'm going to try to go through, but I'm
Oh.
claustrophobic,
Oh,
Okay.
yeah, that's right.
so I don't know what that
Well,
means.
right now it's just the role-playing aspect of it.
Okay.
So you can push through it
Yeah.
if you want. Maybe you're breathing.
Yeah, pretty
real
heavy,
harsh,
and
yeah.
mostly with my eyes closed. Like, I'll just open them from time to time to make
Yeah.
sure. But
But,
yeah, that's what I push through.
So you see that Arthur up in the lead has actually stepped into that room, and William is moving forward. William, your move.
Yeah, I'll say what I said, like slippery bugger, and I'll just go after it. I'll
Okay.
kind of try to dive for it. So 74 under 80, so regular success.
Okay, so in this case, you're able to grab hold of it, and only for a moment do you feel the energy in the knife. As soon as you get your hands on it, it seems to become inanimate again.
You ain't gonna trick me this time.
Vincent, back there, you glance behind you and you see Finn poke his head in there, but then he backs out and he starts shoving a bunch of that debris into the end of the crawl space that leads into the regular basement area. He just
blocking
starts piling it in there. Yeah,
Hey, what are you doing?
there's no response.
He's trapping us! And there's no way to turn around, right?
You could, yeah,
Yeah, I'll turn
if you're
around.
careful about it. Okay.
Rush towards, try to push my way out.
All right. So we'll just do an opposed strength check.
Oh, he's screwed.
Oh, sorry. I got to roll so you guys can see. You got a 2 under 70. So he's a great big fella.
I got a 6 under 70.
Oh, you guys, you're the aggressor. So in this case, you push it back.
Down his big fat gullet.
Right. You're like pushing it back so you clear it out. And you can see there's sort of a faint yellow tint to his eyes, almost like a lantern glow.
Okay. Well, he had a lantern, right?
Right. But it's like emanating from his eyes.
Finn, what are you doing, man?
And he just doesn't respond. So,
He's
Arthur,
gone crazy.
you were in the room.
Yes.
What do you do?
So, hearing Vincent shout out that he's trying to trap us, and then the remark that he's gone crazy with the other experience, I would like to perform a blessing, if I could,
Okay.
to try and stop whatever the paranormal activity
And what
is.
skill are you using?
Occult.
All right. Go ahead. Give it a shot.
29 under 65, so a hard success.
All right. So after you are done with your, and what kind of like blessing, like do you have an idea of what tradition?
I'll probably go just kind of on the fly back to the roots, so like an African.
Okay.
If I don't even know, do they even have any? Imagine they would, right?
Yeah.
Probably some sort of tribal, like chanting or whatever. So you see this has an effect. The yellow, or not William, but Vincent, you see the yellow glow seem to fade from Finn's eyes in response to this chanting coming from the other room.
Yeah, keep it up, whatever that is.
All right. So Finn seems to snap out of it, and he shakes his head, and he's like looking around confused. Like he doesn't even know why you guys were struggling with each other at the moment.
I just wanted a hug.
For Arthur in that room, the body on the pallet opens its eyes and sits up very slowly and looks at you.
That was not the chant that I did.
So
You brought the devil in here, boy.
make a sanity check.
32 under 43.
9 under. Is it current sanity?
Yeah, it's
9
always
under
your
38.
current sanity. 9 under, so you both succeed. You both only lose 1 point of sanity. But he starts advancing towards who was the furthest in the room. Probably you.
I went after the knife.
He went
Yeah.
after, yeah. So I would
Yeah.
think we would be right next to each other because I went after the knife too.
What's your luck?
62.
And Williams is 65. So he'll go for Arthur. So he just takes a few steps towards you guys.
All right.
And that will end his turn. So now we'll go back to you guys who all act on the same one. Is there anybody that wanted to move first, or should we just proceed in the same order?
I'm fine with the same order.
William.
All right. I'll
By God.
and I'll try to brawl him.
Okay.
Pretty brave.
I'm
I see one of those, I punch one of those.
a God-fearing man, and ain't no spook or specter or demon gonna get the better of me. Brawl him in the name of God.
Yeah, can you
So-
imagine seeing that in real life?
No, I don't want to imagine seeing something.
I wouldn't even bother to open the door. I'd just go right through it.
So 19 under 80.
19 under 80. That's a hard success.
Yes.
All right, so he will fight back when you go to approach him.
Okay.
But he will need an extreme success. He's rolling against a 50. You got 25, which is only a hard for him. So you deal the damage.
All right. So 4 points of damage.
Punch damage.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'll go full like heyday style boxing.
Yeah,
So I'll just go in.
bare knuckles.
Yeah.
All right. So you start landing some blows on this guy, and he does not seem to react to them in a painful way. In fact, when you hit his body, which is almost mummified, it just like stuff flakes off of it, and in some cases whole chunks. And he just sort of smiles at it. So you dealt 5 damage.
4.
4.
total. Yeah. So Yeah, I'll be like,
Like that, huh? I'm just going to enjoy this more than you.
All right, Vincent.
All right, so I'll ask Finn if he's okay.
He's like, he nods his head. Sorry, sometimes I forget he's a mute.
Well, you got to keep it together. They're in trouble in there. Go help them.
He's kind of gesturing at you like he can't crawl past you.
Yeah, well, I'll turn around and crawl in.
Okay, so you can move the entire distance into the room and still have an action.
Okay. So I go in and I see that thing?
Yeah, so you can go ahead and make your sanity
you see that
check.
thing getting its head kicked in.
Absolute fail.
So you lose 1d8 sanity.
Ouch.
7.
All right. So this, since it's 5 or more in one instance, this induces a bout of insanity. Okay,
It's
so
an alien.
So here's your role-playing tips for the next 3 rounds. Although the overall bout of insanity will last for 7 hours. Although for 3 rounds you're going to do this thing.
Yeah.
And then beyond that, it's just a role-playing sort of thing. So whether this is true or not, this is altering your backstory. When you see him, you just get like a sudden clear memory of your past. And your father was a very stern, corporal punishment dealing sort of fellow, including to your mother. And you had this image of him where you could hear him. That sound that you heard up in that room was an awful lot like that image that sound that comes back to you from your childhood of him just wailing on your mother in another room. And oftentimes when he was done with that, he would say to you, Vincent, come here, boy. We got some egg-splaining to do to you. And he said it like that. It was egg-splaining. In fact, he said it for that way that it was kind of how you thought it was said and spelled for a long time.
Uh-huh.
But anyhow, the way you would kind of get away from that is you would go and you'd hide under your bed.
Yeah.
Or on your bed under your covers, just while you're listening to that happen. So you gain the mania called clinomania or clinomania, maybe. It's CLINO mania, and this is the excessive desire to stay in bed as sort of a safety place because it reminds you of being safe from when your father was beating on your mother.
Okay.
So for the next 3 rounds, you're going to pursue that mania in whatever way you feel is appropriate.
Pull your jacket up over your
Yeah,
head.
well, that's an idea.
Go get in the bed upstairs.
Oh, man. You.
Or go and make a
Well, I
little
think
hobo
I
tunnel.
think I'll go back out into where Finn is and like find a place to curl up.
Okay, you could probably get under the stairs.
Perfect. That's exactly.
Yeah,
what
and there's
I'm
like a canvas tarp or something.
Yep.
You
I'll
kind of
pull
get
that
under
over
that
me. Yeah.
with your lantern.
Yeah.
All right. So you beat a hasty retreat there. That was you crawling in the room. Unfortunately, that's your turn.
Yeah.
William. Or sorry, Arthur.
So, I won't utter a word, just a noise, right?
Okay.
Just like, and then seeing Billy take the lead, I'll join the fray. I'll slip on my brass knuckles and
Okay.
go in for some.
So since this is the second attack, melee attack on him in the round, you'll get, or he gets a penalty die to his roll.
Thought they just taught you boys dancing in that. How to sip tea.
Oh, no, you get a bonus die to this roll.
What is a bonus die?
So you
It's
add
a
another 10.
second.
Take that one right there.
Okay, yeah, that works. Yeah, it's a second die. Take whichever one's lower for you in this case.
Okay. 34 under 80, which is a hard success.
And he got a 21, which is also a hard success. So you deal the damage.
6.
6 damage.
Yep.
So it's much the same result as William had on it. Your fists
Brass
batter him, but
knuckles.
it doesn't seem like he reacts to it. Although you do chip off parts of him, like something will like unfurl. Like the flesh is like parchment at this point, and it's like tearing apart.
Okay.
Okay. Finn crawls the rest of the way through the crawl space, and he sees this guy.
Come on, Finn.
You can do it. And, oh, sorry. He fails. 82 over 50.
What was he trying to do?
Succeeded his sanity for seeing it. And
Poor Finn.
he does pretty good. He only loses 2 points of sanity. But he comes in, sees it, is like shocked, takes a step back, but then he gets his shotgun ready, breaks it open, loads in a couple shells. So, all right, this being will press its attack on you, Arthur. 14 under 50 is a hard success. Oh, hold on, before you roll, you got 2 options.
Oh,
Dodge or fight back.
Dodge or fight back. Dodge, if you get, all need to get the higher success to win. Fight back, you need to get the higher success to win.
if I fight back, would I do damage if I win?
Yeah, but you would have to get an extreme success.
I'll dodge it. 41 under 80. It's a regular success.
Okay.
It's very close to a hard.
All right, so he deals you, and he has nails that have grown long enough to act like claws, so they're raking at you.
Bites like a sissy.
Oh, sorry. You roll. 1d3 plus 1d4.
So 3 damage.
Okay, and then I need you to make a luck roll.
19 under 62.
Okay. All right, back up to you, William.
All right. I'll press my attack, but I'm going to get ready to get out of the way when Finn
Okay.
finishes loading that shotgun.
Unleashes that scattergun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But here we go. 75 under 80.
Okay. Sorry. He's fighting back.
Oh, wait. Did I have advantage?
New round. It's in the
Ah.
same round, so it's whoever attacks second between you
Okay.
guys. You can wait if you want, but he only got a regular success.
All right. So 5 points of damage. My guy's convinced that this is a psychopath and possibly a German.
Possibly. All
Most
right.
likely a hun.
So this blow does seem to stammer him a little bit. You know, he takes kind of reels back.
Got a good jaw on you.
All right, Vincent, you stay under
Yeah.
your blanket. William,
Arthur?
Arthur, sorry, I have it.
I'm willing to go
So-
twice.
Am I able to... I have a trench knife.
It does take you around to ready any weapon.
Oh, okay.
Oh wait, well you could ready an attack with it, but it would be a hard success, is what you'd need.
Well, the last attack seemed to do some damage, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, okay. We'll do it. We'll go with the brass knuckles that I still got.
Don't forget your bonus. If you
Thank you.
He's fighting back.
37 under 80.
I got
That's
a-
a hard success.
He got a hard 2, so you succeed.
7 damage.
And again, like William,
What is the build bonus for?
that's if you were trying to like grapple with him
Oh, okay.
or hold somebody down.
like a
it
size
factors into it.
modifier.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So that was okay. So at first Finn is motioning for you guys to move, but then you notice a yellow glow start to rise in his eyes as he points his loaded shotgun, raises it ever so slowly. William, William, your turn.
guess I'll go ahead.
Oh no!
Well, it's like, no, I don't know if he's... I don't really actually know if that means anything. Is he pointing it at one of us, or...
He's just raising it right now. It seems like it'll like dip.
He
dip.
doesn't look natural doing it.
The
though,
eyes
right?
don't. Yeah.
Okay.
It'll like dip down for a second, but then he starts like getting up. But he hasn't quite pointed it. But I mean, if he follows the trajectory, then it's going to be on Arthur.
All right. I guess I'll go tackle him.
Okay.
See if I can get the gun out from his hands.
So, opposed fighting.
Brawling?
Call him a traitor mute.
47 under 80.
You've had a fail. So yeah, you get a hold of him.
Yeah, I'll grab it out of his hands and
Okay.
push him back.
All right.
And I have shotguns, so is it technically readied?
It's readied, yeah.
Do it.
I already used my action. I'll do it next turn.
Vincent, this is the final round in which you must obey your mania.
Okay.
Arthur.
So, can I attack and ready to move?
You can move your base speed if you want.
Can I still attack?
Yeah.
Okay. Would this carry over
Would what carry over?
a readied action to the next round?
What do you... you don't have
I
to
wanna-
ready to move. You just would move on your next round.
Well, I mean, when he's ready to shoot.
Oh, gotcha. Well, I mean, you could... I think in that case, you'd have to
Ready the whole, or
to
just
get it
delay.
ahead. Or you could just wait until after he goes again.
All right. Yeah, I'll delay until
Okay.
William.
Or you
Well-
guys can switch your order on the next round and you
I-
move out of the way.
I'm willing to do that.
Okay. Yeah, let's just switch the order on the next round. Okay, so I'll have Adam again.
54 fail.
77 under 80.
Regular success, that's a hit.
Need to get myself some brass knuckles. Do they count as brawling?
Yep.
Nice.
So does the trench knife.
Yeah, I was thinking about using the ceremonial knife on the guy.
6 damage.
All right, so this entity, whatever it was, totally crumbles into dust, so that there's only a pile of an unknown substance on the ground.
We should collect that.
All right, so what do you guys want to
say
do?
that I defeated him with the hook. It's
Uppercut.
always that. Uppercut.
Good job, crumpet stuffer.
I'll
Throw that
break open.
ectoplasm at him. Is Finn still doing his weird thing?
No, Finn's
Looking
shaking
weird.
his head, like he's surprised to see that his gun is now in William's hands,
Okay.
or that his yeah.
So I want to collect the knife and the substance
Okay,
as well. And you said there were papers?
yeah,
Does it look like touching them is going to destroy him?
yes.
Yeah.
They have weird symbols on them.
I'll give Finn back his shotgun.
Yeah.
And I'll begin lining up to take a picture.
Could I get you to take a picture of these symbols?
Looks like a bunch of gibberish to me. Probably German.
Well, all the more reason to get it to the proper authorities.
Fine. What do you think that psychopath was doing, squatting down here like that?
Well, I mean, Germans in the trench. That's all it is. So they take up residence, think they own the place.
All right, 16 under 70.
All right,
with
you get a good photo.
for
all
the
right.
symbols.
So let's just do a real quick conclusion here. For all intents and purposes, any further investigation of the house, there are no more telekinetic incidences or sounds. The photo of those pages, the knife is evidence that you gather. After you take the photo, if you handle any one of those pages, they immediately crumble into nothing. But you do have the photographic evidence, and they are very clear, and they are just a set of strange symbols. All right, so I'm just going to go ahead and assume, because I don't want to do another session on this one, that you guys file your report based off of that incident, and that you may have more questions, but we can pursue those in the character development stage, which we will enter into now. First, each of you gains 1d6 sanity points.
Nice.
Is that over our max?
That
Or just...
the track, so you raise
Okay,
your...
that's what I was... Yeah.
It's a floating pool that's always usually being lost.
So, but my max, my max was 50.
No, your minimum or the start should have been whatever it was.
The
Your
50.
max is 99.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Let me change that.
So
your
does it
your
go-
max is 99 minus your Cthulhu Mythos rating.
Okay,
Gotcha.
so all right.
But the only thing that the max factors in is if for some reason you gain enough sanity to get up to that point, then that's where it caps off.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. Well, conclusion.
Do you want me to do this for,
Johan?
yeah, as well?
It was a bonus for defeating
Okay.
Corbett, so in that case, he doesn't get to it. But we are entering the character development stage. Next time we play, you guys should think about what you want to go into the report, and then we can work together on writing that up, and that will be a piece of evidence for future investigators to look at. But as to that, you tell Mr. Knott. What would you guys tell Mr. Knott based off of what has happened?
Well, if there's nothing else happening, I would tell him that that it was haunted, but we got rid of the spirit.
Or we could tell him the presence of a corpse was causing some fumes, but we removed it, and so that might sound a little less crazy to him than there was a spirit haunting the place. It just depends. Like I would seek Mueller's advice on how to word the report.
Yeah, that's probably a
To
good
our
idea.
employer, the report we give to the SEU.
Okay.
Tell the truth.
Yeah, let's let Dr. Mueller,
Not a doctor.
Professor? What
Professor.
were you? Yeah, Professor Mueller report back to Mr. Knott.
Yeah, because we could easily say that there was rodents in an unsanitary condition and a corpse, and it was fumes were going up. And
Well, mention of a corpse might not be the best for
Just
because
contaminated.
fungus, perhaps.
sure,
Mold.
sure, yeah.
Okay. That's what we'll tell Mr. Knott. We can devise the particulars of the SEU report at another time. So for these characters, and I suppose all your characters, you will have about 4 months in which you're called back to your normal life duties, farming, bouncing at the bar or the speakeasy that you work for, and your retirement life for Johan, and other investigative duties for William. This has been a Deathwatch production. Thank you for listening.